On OSRC News at 7, Governor Aiyedatiwa showcases Ondo's potential in oil exploration, seeks lasting solution to end dependency on fuel importation. Ondo State Government pledges prompt project delivery. Federal Government launches support fund for staff of tertiary institutions. And from outside the shores of Nigeria, Government declares state of emergency as super typhoon hits the Philippines. Welcome to OSRC News. I'm Adebimpe Akindele. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has called for proactive homegrown solutions to reduce Nigeria's dependence on imported fuel and lower domestic fuel costs. Speaking at the 43rd Annual Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists Conference in Lagos, he emphasized diversifying the energy sector to include renewables alongside oil and gas. Highlighting Ondo's key role, Aiyedatiwa noted that the state ranks 5th in Nigeria for hydrocarbon production with about 60,000 barrels of crude oil daily. He also spotlighted Ondo's massive bitumen deposits, the largest in Nigeria and second largest in Africa, which remain largely untapped. The governor commended the association's leadership and welcomed incoming president Mrs. Olajumoke Ajayi, an indigene of Ondo State, wishing her success. The conference attracted policymakers, industry experts, and stakeholders in the petroleum value chain. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperikpe Ekpo, has commended Governor Aiyedatiwa for ensuring adequate security and creating an enabling environment that continues to attract investors. The minister gave the commendation at the Government House, Alagbaka Akure, after inspecting the Supertech methanol and ammonium plant in Ore, Odigbo local government area. He said the initiative aligns with President Bola Tinubu's directive to harness Nigeria's abundant natural gas resources to drive economic transformation and industrial development. He congratulated Governor Aiyedatiwa for hosting the first methanol production facility in the country, noting that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited is expected to leverage such investments to enhance upstream operations and promote value addition in the gas sector. Speaking, the governor appreciated the minister's visit and lauded the ongoing Ondo State Development and Investment Promotion Agency, ONDIPA, for removing bureaucratic bottlenecks that often discourage investors. He highlighted the growing number of industrial projects facilitated through ONDIPA, including a 500,000 barrel per day modular refinery and a petrochemical plant for fertilizer production in Ilaje local government area. Aiyedatiwa identified the Southern Senatorial District as the state's economic hub, rich in oil, gas, and mineral resources, with ongoing projects such as the proposed deep seaport and the Ondo Lean Industrial Hub, where cassava is being processed into ethanol. Take a listen.
Mr. President emphasized the fact that natural gas should be taken advantage to drive the economy of the nation. And I have to congratulate you that your state is the first state that methanol is being produced for use, whereby upstream companies, as I gave a charge to the NNPC, will be taking advantage of that to drive the upstream operation in our country, Nigeria, which is adding value. So I congratulate you for providing an enabling environment for such a massive project to be put in place in Ondo State to provide adequate security and providing an enabling environment for that project to thrive. for foreigners to come in and invest in the state. I say congratulations, Your Excellency. That is what all other states should imbibe, so that we drive the economy of the nation in the direction it should be. I've come to see the good things in your state. On my returning, I will go and prove, Mr. President, that this project needs to be commissioned.
The raw materials there permanently. So some of these things we have, we are beginning to market on the state to the world, so that those who are looking for a destination to invest can look at that direction, so that the economy of the state can grow, and the people also can benefit maximally. So that is the primary mandate we have here, to be elected as government, the security and well-being of the people, and continue to do that in partnership with other well-meaning individuals that want to ensure that the state is safe and investment-friendly enough. We know that we are not fully there yet. We're going to strive in terms of other infrastructure. Roads, thank God, the federal government is now doing the road industrialization of Norway to Akure. It's because you went on that front. There's no way you could have got into that location without passing through that route. And it's very, very important, because the airport is here in Akure. It's not everybody that can afford a chopper. So dualization is already ongoing from Akure down to Republic. And I'm taking it out from to Bar, because already I'm doing to part of block of dualization. So that even when you fly into Akure, within an hour, you should be able to travel a very good road down to the southern central, where, like I said, the wealth of this state is strategically domiciled. So thanks to the President for that project, and for other reforms that he has embarked upon that is yielding results already across the nations.
The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperikpe Ekpo, while on a visit to Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa. The Ondo State government has appealed to residents of the Joka community in Akure South local government area to remain calm following their protest over the prolonged abandonment of the road. While addressing the protesters, Chairman of Akure South local government, Benga Fashua, assured them that the neglected road would receive urgent attention within the shortest possible time. Joy Pius now completes the story.
Across Ondo State, several major road projects have been completed or are currently underway, underscoring the government's commitment to improving mobility and boosting economic growth. Among the roads recently approved for completion by the State Executive Council is the Ijoka Road, a development many residents hoped would finally bring an end to years of neglect and hardship. However, while many areas are benefiting from Governor Ayedatiwa's infrastructure drive, residents of Ijoka in Akure South say their story remains incomplete until their long-abandoned road is rehabilitated. Frustrated by the condition of the road, the residents took to the streets to protest. The youths blocked the busy road, leaving hundreds of commuters stranded. The protesters, who came out in large numbers, expressed their displeasure over the condition of the road, saying it has been left unattended for too long. They called on the government to take urgent steps to rehabilitate it and ease their suffering.
You should have mercy on us and do this road for us, because he's our brother. You should not let us suffer. You should not let us bear these doors just like that till this end of this year. Please help us beg him.
Please and please, we plead to him. Although it is his duty, but we should plead. It's our duty to plead, because even though we fight, nothing will happen. So we are pleading. We should plead to him that he should help us to do the road. Please and please. It's affecting us. It's affecting our children. It's affecting our youth. Even rainy season, we are not enjoying the road. And dry season also, we are not enjoying the road.
Aṣọ tá bá fi sórí anga lásán láì wọ gbogbo àní dust ojoojúmọ́ lèèyàn clean aṣọ bẹ́ẹ̀dì ojoojúmọ́ lèèyàn nulẹ̀ even those orí chef concept dvd gbogbo ẹ̀ dust àbò adẹ́tọ̀ tó wọ́n dẹ̀rẹ́ láti bá ìgbà òjò báyìí accident máa pọ̀ lọ́nà ẹni ẹ̀rọ ẹni mi ta gbé wá sí fámà tá gbé lọ sí Abitoye tá máa gbé lọ sí state hospital tó ọ̀dẹ̀ ní attend láti ready láti dáyàn lóhùn kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀.
bá a ṣe lọ yìí nǹkan tá a fẹ́ gan nìyẹn àwọn èèyàn tí a bá wọ àwọn èèyàn sí wọn lè lọ bí iṣẹ́ wọn lè ṣe kankan wọ́n tó wá wọṣọ white ẹ wò mí síbẹ̀sì mo lọ sáìtì mi ilé wọṣọ tó wù mí because I want to face the dust that's why mo ṣe wọṣọ tí mo wọ̀ yìí.
Chairman of Akure South Local Government, Benga Fashwa, addressing the protesters, assured them that their grievances would be addressed promptly.
The reason why we are voted into office is to protect life and properties. For that, we are ready to uphold this. Having seen this, I am assuring them that since there is an approval that had been given, on this road, and I assure them that in space of 2 weeks, our contractor will be here that work in no long time. Come back.
For Ijoka residents, completing this road project would not only bring relief, but also serve as proof of equitable development across Akure and Ondo states. Joy Pius, OSRC News.
Up ahead, Olubadan Obaladeja lends voice to calls to tackle terror headlong. That's after the break.
One soft voice could do darkness with a coolele promise. You could calm your feet them. You fit smoke up, you fit smoke up, you fit sniff up. The first drag they hit, but the addiction will be play on. You could first scatter your body. Your mind could come follow. You could tabaru your work, your future, even your money. Yeah, but no forget help day. No give up. You fit break cycle with correct help and better support. You fit overcome am. Reach out for better future. Na Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) say make a young give una. Say no to drugs. NDDC, 25 years of making a difference.
When it's bright and early, get your breakfast right. Ding. You need all the nutrients that will hold you tight. Ding. Stay in power, you find it all in peak. Ding. Every move you make, Peak's got you all the way. Ding. And the peak goes on.
Power on every morning with our Peak breakfast to make the most of every day. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Good to know that you're still there. For feedback and comments, you can watch us live on our website, www.osrc.ng, or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel, OSRC TV Ondo. Now, for the rest of the news, the federal government has launched the disbursement of funds under the Tertiary Institution Staff Support Fund at the Federal University of Technology, Akure. Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, while handing over checks to beneficiaries, said the initiative is designed to strengthen staff welfare, enhance institutional productivity, and promote innovation across Nigeria's tertiary education system. He confirmed that 9,000 beneficiaries from various government-owned tertiary institutions are currently receiving alerts. Moriola Ngbeji reports.
For years, one of the major agitations of lecturers in Nigeria's higher institutions has been staff welfare, a crucial factor in achieving effective service delivery. 2 years into the President Bola Tinubu's administration, the federal government has selected 9,000 staff members from universities, polytechnics and colleges of education across the country to benefit from the Tertiary Institution Staff Support Fund. While presenting checks to beneficiaries, Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, described the move as a fulfillment of President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, a concrete step towards improving the lives of academic and non-academic staff. He explained that the zero-interest loan scheme, offering up to 10 million naira CAPE at 33.3% of beneficiaries' annual gross salary, is designed to help meet essential needs such as housing, healthcare, and transportation, among others. The minister also instructed the Ministry of Education to ensure Nigerian higher institution staff receive both recognition for their services and tangible support.
Over 33,000 people applied to enjoy this zero interest free loan to up to 10 million, or 33% of their salary. This is an interest free loan. That the first 24 months, you will not even pay the principal back. And you're expected to pay back, I think, in about 5 or 7 years. This is carefully designed to support every component of your welfare.
In her remark, Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaiba Ahmad, said the initiative is fundamentally aimed at improving staff welfare, thereby encouraging better performance across institutions.
We are well aware of the growing pressure on our education system, expanding enrollment, limited resources, and the rising of cost of living. These challenges call for a creative and sustainable solution. The TIPS represent one such solution, an instrument of shared responsibility and partnership aimed at enhancing staff welfare, supporting capacity development, and promoting sustainable institutions.
Commending the federal government for the peaceful atmosphere currently enjoyed in Nigerian universities, Vice-Chancellor of FUTA, Professor Adenike Oladiji, appealed for the sustainability of the initiative.
It was ensuring that there's peace in our universities. But sir, I want to appeal. Please, whatever you can do to ensure that our universities remain open, kindly do it. On our part, as a community, we have pledged to continue to serve our students. We feel the pain more as members of the community.
This is just the first batch payment of Tertiary Institution Staff Support Fund, a part of the federal government's efforts to provide financial relief and motivation to personnel in the nation's tertiary institutions, ensuring a more productive and stable academic environment. Omoriola Ngbeji, Osrc News.
As the world marks International Accountants Day 2025, professional accountants in Ondo State have been reminded of the ethics of the profession. Speaking at the event to commemorate the day in Akure, the chairman, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, Ondo State Society, Mr. Ezekiel Oke, described accountants as the soul of businesses which the economy revolves around, hence the need to uphold integrity, fairness, and equity in the discharge of their duties. Joy Pius reports that the event kick-started with a health work by members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants and Association of National Accountants of Nigeria. The report.
Every year on November 10, the global accounting community, including Nigeria, marks World Accounting Day. The day recognizes the role of accountants in maintaining accurate financial records and providing the data and insights that guide businesses to success. Commemorating this year's event, professional accountants within Akure kickstarts the event with a health walk, which begins from the Akure Town Hall through Ojaoba and to the Adegbemile Cultural Event Center. Addressing journalists, the 31st Chairman, Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ondo State Chapter, Ezekiel Oke, stated that the day was to recognize the invaluable contributions of accountants to businesses and society. Oke, who described accountants as the conscience of society, urged them to uphold integrity and fairness, knowing that the economy lies in their hands.
We are managers of resources. We are keepers of resources. So they should treat us as such. In every society, in every organization, there are rules that govern the operation of that. If we can play according to that rules, then we will be safe. To our members, let us behave, let us act as such, let us act as managers, let us increase our knowledge.
The chairman, Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, ANAN, Rotimi Omoloyi, appealed for improved welfare packages for accountants, believing that such gesture would discourage some members from engaging in fraudulent activities.
Nobody recognizes us, even we have even kind of hazard or something to face. Nobody will look at us and ask us as, this is where we are you with me? Nobody look at us if we want to, we are treated like ordinary civil servants as a manager of resources. You should be able to take care of me. Motivations, we are taught of motivation, which is so key.
Others, including the immediate vice chairman of ANAN, Modupe Omoloja, called for regular training and retraining of members for optimal performance, stressing that the profession is dynamic.
I will also want to tell my professional colleagues that whatever they are doing, they should be up and doing. They should know what they are doing, because integrity is very key, and we should try and be transparent also.
So that one thing is for you to go to school to study accounting. Another thing is for you to practice. And what will help you to practice well, and what will help you to coordinate your practice and make you a better person on your scene, is how you handle your professional ethics, code, and conduct.
World Accounting Day is therefore more than a symbolic celebration. It is a reminder that without accountants, modern economies cannot function. And without integrity, accounting profession loses relevance. Joy Pius, OSRC News.
The Senate and House of Representatives Joint Committee on ICT, Cybersecurity and Digital Economy is collating inputs from stakeholders on the proposed National Digital Economy and E-Governance Bill 2025. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, at the public hearing, says enhanced legal framework would unlock more potentials in the sector for improving contribution to the GDP. Among objectives of the bill is the introduction of ethical and risk-based governance for artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies. The Olubadan Oba Rashidi Ladoja says the time for Nigerians to jointly fight terrorism to a standstill and placate the aggrieved has come following a military action threat by United States President Donald Trump. Oba Ladoja, in a statement, noted that it has been over a decade since the twilight of former President Jonathan's administration in 2014 that Nigeria has been battling with the scourge of terrorism. The monarch said the majority of Nigerians want the scourge of terror to be fought to a standstill, but was not excited about the prospect of United States involvement in the internal affairs of the country, except through collaboration. The Director General of British Broadcasting Corporation, Tim Davie, has resigned after a row over the editing of a speech made by U.S. President Donald Trump on the day of the 2021 attack on the United States Capitol. Sunday's joint resignations of Tim Davie and head of news Deborah Tunis capped a turbulent week on accusations that the broadcaster edited a speech Trump made on January 6, 2021 to make it appear as if he encouraged the riots that followed his defeat in the 2020 presidential elections. Adirun.
Tim Davie's 5 years at the top of the BPC came to an abrupt end late on Sunday with a resignation letter. Overall, The BBC is delivering well, it said, but there has been some mistakes made, and as Director General, I have to take ultimate responsibility. His tenure was tumultuous, to say the least, with the UK's world-renowned public broadcaster launching from crisis to scandal, scandal to crisis. The final straw was a BBC Panorama documentary hired just before the 2024 US presidential election. It spliced together part of the speech Donald Trump gave to protesters on the day they stormed the US Capitol and made it sound like he was encouraging the violence. A former advisor to the BBC accused it of serious and systematic bias over these and other scandals. On Truth Social, Donald Trump said the top people in the BBC, including Tim Davis, the boss, are all quitting, fired because they were caught doctoring my very good, in bracket perfect, speech of January the 6th. And these are very dishonest people who try to step on the scandals of a presidential election. It was a scandal, and BBC apology surrounding a BBC documentary on Gaza. That was the last major crisis for Tim Davis. He exists, followed by his head of news, Deborah Towns. Two massive heirs have rolled at immediate behemoth that finds once again that it is the story. Aderonke Kolawole, Osrc News.
From Latin America, lime trade in western Mexico is booming and drug cartels want a slice of the profits. Farmers say they are being threatened and extorted by criminal gangs. Kemisola Ojomu reports.
Lupi Mora now lives under the eyes of his armed escorts, watching where he goes and who follows. His brother, Epolito, was killed 2 years ago. He curated a local vigilante force to protect lime producers extorted by drug cartels. 2 nephews have also been shot dead.
No, es una situación nunca vista.
It's an unprecedented situation, never seen before. We're suffering from extortions, rackets. Anyone who refuses to pay is killed or has a family member killed. Organized crime is behind all of this, and unfortunately, the state and federal governments aren't doing their jobs properly.
Lupi says he is one of the few raising its voice against organized crime in Abatinga. Bernardo Bravo, president of the Citrus Producers Association, here was killed in October. The state of Metequin, Mexico's agro-exporter engine, its production of lime, avocados, and other fruits had more than 26% of all of Mexico's total agricultural exports. Lime grower Pacus Wacus says lime producers pays 20% of their profit to organized crime.
Si el gobierno no interviene.
If the government doesn't intervene or establish an effective plan to support us, this will cause social unrest. We're experiencing it today. People are angry, distressed, and above all terrified by what is happening in Michoacan.
Last week, a male was killed in Metequin, sparking outcry across the region. People overcame the usual fright they live in and went out to protest. Farmers say they are fed up too. Fear aside, Lupi Mora says he has no option but speak out against the drug cartels' pressures, even if he pays the price with his life. Kemisola Ojomu, Osrc News.
That's the news tonight. Before we go, we take another look at the major stories. Governor Ayedatiwa has showcased the state's potential in oil exploration. Ondo State government has pledged prompt project delivery. Federal government has launched the support fund for staff of tertiary institutions. And from the foreign scene, the Philippines authorities have declared state of emergency following super typhoon's surge. That's the news tonight. Good evening.